We'd like to welcome you to another edition of Pikeville Independent Schools Principals Forum. And as always, I'm joined with the principals of Pikeville Independent Schools. First, Mr. Michael Rowe, principal of Pikeville High School. And next, Mr. Robert Jones, principal of Pikeville Elementary School. I'd like to say welcome, gentlemen, and also welcome to you. And each of us hope that you had a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And of course, we're so blessed through the holidays, not only with our school district and the staff members, but we're blessed, these gentlemen, along with several others, during the Christmas break and the New Year's break, didn't really have the extended vacation like our students and some of our parents had. Appreciate the efforts of not only the maintenance staff, but also both of these gentlemen concerning the break and making sure that we're ready for the students to come back beginning this semester and know everything from grades to the buildings. We're ready for our students. So, Mr. Rowe, if you'd like to begin with an update.
Yeah, that'd be great. That'll be shorter than Mr. Jones, I'm sure. Just a couple of dates, first of all, for our stakeholders. We do have testing coming up, some very important dates. We have the AP Language and Composition Mock AP exam. That is set for January the 16th. We also have the AP Literature Mock AP exam for January the 22nd. As part of being a part of the Advanced Kentucky, we do give mock exams to prepare our students for the real exam. So we take these very serious, and hopefully our students can gain the experience necessary to be able to score the 3s and the 4s and the 5s and get the college credit. We have the ASVAB for the 11th grade. This is given on Wednesday, January the 23rd. For our seniors who have not reached college and career readiness or the college readiness standards, we do have the Compass exam for them. That's going to be the last 2 weeks of January. We have the ASVAB for the 12th graders. We have that on Wednesday, February the 20th. And a very important date for the ACT for our juniors, that is set for Tuesday, March the 5th. So these are some important dates. Make sure our students are in attendance these days, and we wish our students nothing but the best of luck and success on this. If your student did not bring home a report card, we did issue those on Friday, January the 11th, so I'll be asking for those. We had a chance to sit down with a lot of our students, and the grades look really good. So if you've got any questions for any of the teachers, please call them or email them. K-Prep testing, so our state testing, we have 64 instructional days left until the opening of the testing window for K-Prep. It's really time's flying around here. For the AP exams, we have 70 instructional days left until the first AP exam. So again, time is flying. We got to get our students prepared for that, and we're working hard to make sure they achieve well. We had a lockdown drill on Thursday, January the 10th. I want to say kudos to Chief Reed and our city police officers. They were there during the lockdown. They swept the building with us and gave us a few pointers of things we can do. I feel very safe that our first responders are the city police of Pikeville. They are in our building within minutes when we do something like this, so I want to say kudos to them for their hard work. We've got some football awards. First of all, kudos to Coach McNamee. He was named the Courier Journal Class A Football Coach of the Year. Great honor for Coach Mack, and he's an outstanding guy. For a couple of the players, we have kudos to Cody Estep for being named Courier Journal Honorable Mention All-State at wide receiver. Kudos to Gage Morrison for being named Honorable Mention All-State as an offensive lineman. Kudos to Austin Black for being named Courier Journal's Honorable Mention All-State as linebacker. And kudos to Caleb Campoy for being named Courier Journal Honorable Mention All-State as a defensive lineman. Great accomplishments for a football team, and we're very proud of what they accomplished this year. Kudos goes out to Ethan Rowe for being named the Hutch Chevrolet Player of the Week. Kudos to Hutch for sponsoring events such as this and honoring students. This is the third student we had honored this year for their athletic performances, and it's good to see Hutch actually giving money to our community and our school, so we appreciate that a whole lot. A special kudos goes out to one of our alums, Miss Jessica Casebolt. Over the weekend, she did finish in the top 15 in the Miss American pageant. We're extremely proud of her, and we're proud to say she's a Panther for life. I'm short and sweet, and that's all I have, Mr. Green.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Jones.
Well, obviously, I have a little bit more only because I had an academic meet I need to share with you. But just a couple things before that. Mr. Rowe mentioned Chief Reed. I echo his words. We really appreciate all he's done thus far to help us. We too practiced a lockdown drill. We had several police officers in the building, and we took their advice, and everything seemed to go well with that. But I certainly want to make sure I say thank you to the Pikeville City Police, Pikeville Fire Department. They're always, they're on the scene to help us anytime we have questions like this, or anytime we're practicing things. So I want to make sure I thank them for that. Mr. Rowe mentioned report cards. Our report cards are going home January 15th. Our report cards will be released January the 15th. We had an academic meet on Saturday, January the 12th at the elementary school. It was actually 13 schools, had 12 elementary schools from the county, and in our school, and we had that on Saturday the 12th. I'll give you some results. In the Arts and Humanities written assessment, we had 2 students tie for first place. Congratulations to Evan Kelly, and congratulations to Sarah Belcher, both Pikeville Elementary students who tied for first place among 13 different schools in Arts and Humanities written assessment. In Social Studies written assessment, this is Social Studies, we had the 5th place finisher, Jason Lynn. Also, we had the 3rd place finisher, Luke Cheney. And we also had the 1st place finisher in Social Studies. Congratulations to Mr. Jordan Ratliff. So again, that's 1st place in the written assessment in Social Studies. In Language Arts, we had the 2nd place finish in the written assessment. Congratulations to Tyler Varney, who finished 2nd place in the Language Arts written assessment. In Math, we had the 3rd place finisher. Congratulations to Caden Cottle, who finished 3rd in the Mathematics written assessment. And also, we had the 1st place finisher in Math. Congratulations to Jason Lynn, who finished 1st in Math. We also played 3 rounds of quick recall against 3 random opponents. In round 1, our team defeated Southside by a score of 24-10. In round 2, our team defeated Johns Creek by a score of 23-9. And in round 3, our team defeated G.F. Johnson by a score of 26-14. So once again, congratulations to our elementary academic team, and also Mrs. Brewer and the head coach, Mrs. Fields, for a great job thus far. Their season's getting ready to get started, and we're looking forward to a great season. If you ever are free on a Saturday the next couple of months through March, between the hours of 9 and about 4 p.m., please come by the Blue Goose. Have basketball action going on there. I was able to take it a little bit last Saturday because of the academic meet, but from 9 till 4 on any Saturday, please come by and see. We have about 16 basketball teams that are going full force now. As Mr. Rowe mentioned also earlier, all the drills and things we've been practicing, I just want our stakeholders to know that as of right now, we do have now installed a buzzer system on our front door at the elementary school. So when you come to visit the school, you will need to be buzzed in. I just want to inform you of that. Just a reminder to everyone, I didn't know if Mr. Green was going to mention it or not, but Monday, the 21st of January, there's no school in the Pikeville Independent School System in observance of Martin Luther King Jr. holiday. So no school on Monday, January the 21st. And also one other quick thing, January is a Board Member Appreciation Month. And I want to take a second on behalf of Mr. Rowe and myself, and I'm sure you, Mr. Green, to say thank you to our board members. We have some very good board members, some board members who care about students first, who care about education first, and make all their decisions based on what's best for students. And we'd like to thank those board members, Mr. Buddy Beeler, Mrs. Ann Carty, Mrs. Teresa Combs, Dr. Mark Myers, and also Mr. Greg Tackett. Thank you for all you do, and we appreciate you being the leaders of our school system. I think that's all I have. That didn't go too bad, did it?
Not bad at all.
Thank you. Something that both schools have been spending a great deal of time on are their comprehensive improvement plans. And of course, we have a new format or new system that we're required to put those in place with, referred to as ASSIST. I need to thank these gentlemen publicly as well as individually, because they've spent a great deal of time trying to work with this format, but appreciate their efforts in leading at both schools. Instructional strategies, and also and from analyzing the data to trying to get better, just as the other high-performing schools are doing. I know that both of these men will probably want to say thank you to those that are working on these committees and still working to improve student achievement at both schools. I'd like to give you guys just a few moments to share where you're at with the school plan with our audience, or kind of give an update or thank you to those committees, both the parents and the faculty members. And I know that even some students at the high school are serving on those.
Yeah, the new assist program that we're using, the online school improvement plan, I guess depository of where we're putting the information on, is something new to us, and it has been a little tricky, I guess, in the beginning to get that understood of how to enter it. But our committee's worked very hard, and I'm proud to say that we've completed our school improvement plan. We completed that last week. We had our last meeting for that. Basically, what we know is the state has certain areas that we need to improve upon, and this new system tells us what exact areas they are. One thing we know is the gap, what they call gap scores. We have students who are classified as free and reduced lunch. We're going to make sure their scores are on par with students who are not free and reduced lunch. And that's a big part of our strategies, is to ensure that we leave no child left behind and that we bring them up where they need to be. So we've got, I think, a strong plan in place. We've got support of Mr. Green and our board members to get that done. So we're going to roll up our sleeves and make sure we get that covered.
And there's only a few days until testing left, and I noticed that both of you gentlemen have been sending that out to the staff too.
Yes, I wanted to send it the first day we got back from our winter break, but I didn't want to, set the bad mood that quick, because it alarms teachers, and we all get nervous because we know we got so much we have to cover. But we're talking with teachers. They know when the dates are. Our students know when the dates are, so we're just, like I said, rolling our sleeves up and doing the best we can.
And actually, I'm thrilled that Mr. Rose says he's finished with his plan, and so now he can help me finish mine. No, actually, we are finished with ours too. Just have to have our site-based council approval on it. But as you mentioned earlier, from the time you get our test scores, things have changed. We had 90 days basically to have a new plan in place, and we, of course, we worked through committees, both schools. And I'd like to say thank you to our committees who've worked hard. You getting all the data put together, you doing the surveys, collecting the data from the surveys, and getting everything entered. It's been a different process. I think it's going to be a good process once we get, I guess, a little bit better hang of everything that this new assist program can do. But we will meet. Both schools will meet that February 1st deadline. We're proud of what we do. We're proud of what we've done, but we always are looking for ways to improve. And our stakeholders have been really involved. Our school personnel have been really involved in looking for every way that we could possibly improve.
Right, and of course, at the date of this the filming, we also have a school board meeting tonight, and I appreciate Mr. Jones mentioning thank yous, or as Mr. Rowe would say, kudos to our board members for their service. So many times speak to superintendents, and it won't take but a few months till they're scratching their head wondering why a Board of Education may make a certain decision. Can honestly say, been here 11 years, and not one decision by our board have walked away scratching my head thinking, why did they do that? We're in a unique situation here, and we're blessed. And as we usually say, good things really don't happen by accident. And with this high-performing school district that we're blessed to be a part of, when you look at the leadership and you look at the character of our board members, it's impeccable. And we're certainly grateful for those board members. And of course, tonight we'll be swearing in two incumbents that were unopposed, Ms. Teresa Combs and Dr. Mark Myers. Judge Thompson will be swearing them in at the board meeting, and we invite you to watch that on Pike TV. But I want to say thank you in advance to them and for their service. they take absolutely not one penny, zero, nada, to serve this community and the students of this community. And brings me to another point, and I'm sure that they would also want us to pass this along. At both schools, we have a great many volunteers that help us in every possible way that you can imagine. And our volunteers are kind of unique. And what I mean by this, we actually have policies in place that if you're a volunteer, you have to go through a criminal background record check before they approve you to work at the schools as the principal approving volunteers. Also, aside from the criminal background record check, if, for example, you're working at the elementary school, you're approved to volunteer and to help students as long as it's not on the grade level where you have a child. Whether it's making copies so you won't see that quiz or that test, or whether it's helping out in some other way. The volunteers that they have there, can't say enough about them. That makes we make sure that whether it's instructional assistants, they're actually facilitating or working instead of the instructional assistants making those copies. We're actually fortunate to have the volunteers doing that, so that when you walk in a classroom, they're helping or assisting students and student achievement and student learning just as the teachers are in the classroom. And want to thank the Frisky director, Ms. Don Rowe, for leading this, and Mr. Garris at the high school. And I'm sure Mr. Jones would like to share some thank yous to them.
It's interesting that you said that, because I just answered a question this morning. We are participating in the NAEP test for our fourth grade students, and in order to qualify for that test, I had to answer a survey. They sent me a survey. I was working on that survey this morning, and one of the questions asked was how many hours, what's your average weekly parent volunteer hours? And I had to write it in. It's all the choices given were too low. We have, I kind of went back and looked at the logs, anywhere from 30 to 35 on average hours a week of parent volunteers in our school. So, and that was actually a number larger than any of the choices I had to fill in. So that's a good thing. And I want to thank all of our parents. We have numerous parents, grandparents, community members who volunteer weekly and daily in our school, taking care of some of the things that you would alleviate the load that the teacher has or the classroom assistant would have to do. And they're greatly appreciated, they're greatly needed, and they provide a great service. So we're very, very thankful for them.
And although even at the high school where the students don't think that it's nearly as cool to have mom or dad at the school during the daytime as it was back in elementary school, I'm sure that Mr. Rowe would echo the thoughts that if you're willing to volunteer, whether it be in an athletic booster capacity, an academic booster capacity, whether it's helping out with the band, extracurriculars, or even during the day. If you're willing to volunteer, I'm sure that they can find a beneficial use for you at the high school also.
Yes, and it's kind of funny you said that, because it is, we know, not so cool for parents or for the kids to have their parents come at the high school level. But our student body still is accepting for the parents to come in. So we do encourage you to come in and help in any way possible. There's plenty of things we can always have you do, whether it be running copies for us, getting things in the classroom, or going inside the classroom and helping a teacher. We greatly appreciate that. And when you mention booster clubs, whether it's a booster club for the dance, for the drama, for basketball, football, baseball, we couldn't be the school that we are extracurricular-wise if we did not have these parents and stakeholders volunteering like they do. They go above and beyond. That's what makes Pikeville a special place.
We certainly do want to thank them and appreciate it. When we talk about boosters or when we talk about parental involvement, just to kind of put this in perspective, you're talking about whenever we have an open house, over 96% attendance by parents. That's unheard of. And that's one of the things that helps to make our school district so high performing, because whatever you value at home, if you value this education, if there's an importance placed upon this, and whatever you as a guardian value at home, then your son or daughter will value as a student within our school district. And that's why we're so thankful right now to have that kind of involvement, that kind of support. Hopefully they're eager to get started back within this semester, and we know that the weather's not been the most cooperative. Had to begin the week with freezing rain in the forecast, and I promise you that we'll do everything that we can to get the word out to you if there is inclement weather and we cannot have school, if we have to have a delay. And want to say thank you to the city, to UMG, for doing everything that they can to try to make sure that the roads are in a condition or a safe condition for us to run the buses and to have school. I know that at both schools right now, speaking of safety, and it's amazing since the incidents across the nation have occurred recently that we're always touching on the school safety. And I know right now at this time, Mr. Bart Williams, our transportation director, is working on evacuation drills on the buses at both schools right now. Finishing those up, I think, at both schools currently. Is that true?
That's correct. He is.
Yes, we finished ours this morning.
Finished
Like
yours
ours
this morning?
finishes in the morning. We're today and tomorrow we'll finish those up.
Again, it's already been mentioned by both principals. I want to say thank you again to the police department. In case you haven't noticed, there's a much greater visibility by our police departments at both schools. Want to say thanks to them. Also, at both schools, we have a great many events going on right now, extracurricular wise, and it's not just athletic, as Mr. Jones mentioned to you. This event with the academic teams, or Super Saturday, probably lasted the vast part of the day Saturday.
Oh, it was all day long. I think I'm trying to remember. I think the awards were finished. It was after 3 p.m. And it started at 8 o'clock in the morning. So it was an all-day event.
We also have junior high volleyball currently going on. I think Saturday the freshman team had an away game in the county. Boys and girls varsity basketball is going on, and I know that the academic team is currently having meets too. Anything that I'm leaving out there?
We also got junior high boys basketball still going on.
Wow, that's true too. So any of those events that you can come out and support the Panthers on, we certainly appreciate it. I promise you the students are aware of those in the stands and are certainly thankful for your support if you can attend. And I know that more and more you're trying to use halftime and other times to recognize and celebrate the success of virtually every group within our school district. So I want to say thank you to the administration's efforts on that part. Also, it'd be remiss if we didn't mention this. Have a meeting with UPIC tomorrow. Want to say thank you again to them. We've expanded even more so the dual credit courses, and of course our transportation director gave me a call the very first day back and said, do you realize that we're running buses every period and now even after school to the University of Pikeville and making special bus runs? So I can't convey to you how unique it is to have the opportunity for your son or daughter to attend Pikeville High School and have the opportunity to take classes regardless of the schedule, as long as it's during the day. We provide the transportation and send them to the University of Pikeville. I'd like to thank Governor Pat and also Mr. Hurley and Dr. Tom Hess for making this option available, for working with us. And I know that Ms. Stewart has put a great deal of time trying to make sure that things are working well, scheduling for you guys, Mr. Rowe.
Yes. We're very excited with our partnership. To begin with, talking about UPIC, having the availability of offering up to 29 college hours free in our building to our students is something no other school can say. So again, a student can come into our school, and by the time they graduate high school, take the classes in our building, taught by our teachers, and get up to 29 college hours. That's just unheard of. And I would like to echo too with Governor Patton and Mr. Hurley allowing us to send the buses up, and thank Mr. Green and the board for doing that. It is nonstop. We've got students that are going every day up there. And what's really neat is sometimes when kids have trouble in their classes, they're coming back to the teachers in the building to get tutoring after school. So it's a great partnership we're having. As for our schedule in the building, everything is running really smooth for the beginning of the semester. We didn't have many students who wanted to change classes, which means teachers are doing what they're supposed to do and students are learning like they're supposed to. So we're very excited about that.
Great.
You know, not only do we have students going from Pikeville High School to Pikeville College, we have students going daily from Pikeville Elementary to Pikeville High School. So, and the board covers that for us, and we want to thank you and the board for doing that. We have students who qualify to take maybe an advanced math class, in upper level math class, and they're bused daily to Pikeville High School. Thanks to Mr. Williams, our transportation director, Mr. Green, the board for providing that service to us. It's been done for years, and I'm sure as long as there's a need, it will be done.
It's something that I'm not sure that the community stakeholders are aware of, but if your son or daughter is gifted, we want to make sure that they're challenged at every level, not just, and that includes not just the grade level that they're currently in. They're not bound to that grade level. We want to challenge them regardless of their academic ability and level, and whether that means busing them to the high school or to the University of Pikeville. We want to try to make those options available. I want to say thank you to Ms. Tracy Tackett, our gifted and talented coordinator. Does a phenomenal job, and I don't think this has even been mentioned yet, but I want to congratulate Ms. Sherry Tackett on her retirement. Of course, Ms. Tackett left at the end of this past semester, and Mrs. Mary Belcher, Mr. Johnny Belcher's wife, has been hired to replace her as our instructional supervisor. Is already on board, been really visible at both schools, helping these gentlemen, and also I know with their site-based councils and trying to help with the improvement plans and instructional strategies. And there's no way that I can convey to you just in a TV program how hard these individuals are going to work to make better and greater opportunities for your sons or daughters in our school district. I can't explain to you on air. You would actually just have to be there to see how late they're staying, how hard they're working. And if you have a son or daughter or relative that's had Mr. and Mrs. Belcher as a teacher, I'm sure they can share with you that kind of work ethic and coming through. So I want to welcome her publicly on board, and we're certainly glad to have them. And I know these gentlemen are really glad to have them as a resource also. A ton of home visits are being made, and I know that we're getting many new students in during this time. And of course, if you are trying to enroll or wondering about enrolling your son or daughter, you can contact either school or the central office and ask for Mr. William Johnson. He's doing several address verifications at this time, and of course meeting with the Frisky directors at both schools, so making home visits.
I do want to comment on the enrollment, because we already have had several calls, as many as I can remember since I've been here this early. After Christmas break, asking about enrollment for next school year. I'll be sending out notes pretty soon with the dates, but now there will be some enrollment dates coming up in March, and when enrollment opens, it's always a busy time, but I will make sure that's publicized on this forum and also through notes and emails coming home. But our enrollment will begin. It's usually mid-March to mid-April, somewhere in that window, and we'll get that out as soon as possible.
And of course, that's for the rising kindergarten class coming in August. So it's hard to believe that here we are in January already talking about the upcoming kindergarten class in August. But again, in a month and a half, we're rolling on getting that enrollment. And the earlier you get that information packet in, the better we can help prepare for your son or daughter to enter school and make sure that we have the staffing, the resources there to not just to adequately educate them, but to make sure that they have an education from an outstanding level from entry until exit into college or career.
And I think it's important to tell parents, of rising kindergarten students, it's important now that you have your students have their shots up to date, their shot records complete, a copy of their birth certificate, all the forms that you will need. If you have those available when you enroll a student, the process goes quite a bit smoother.
Right. And if you're interested in gathering more information about that, you can contact Pikeville Elementary School at this time to make sure that you have the information completed. Again, want to thank these gentlemen. Want to thank you for your time, for sharing this time with us. We look forward to spending not only more time with you, but also with those students at Pikeville Independent Schools. Thank you.